Hello, welcome back to Being in Nothingness. Alright, we have two more 4-bean puzzles to get through today. And hopefully we'll get through at least one of them. I'm hoping, because we haven't had a roadblock in this world yet. And I think we are very likely to be due for one soon. So yeah, we are going to go clockwise, so next is twins. Alright, should be just right above us. Oh, yeah, I'm looking at this from here and it already looks horrendous. Oh my goodness, the number of moving parts in this. Okay, hi, what? Oh, yeah, okay. I thought the bunny wasn't animated for a second as it moved down this column. Okay, so to simplify things, I think all of these buttons just activate the doors next to them. So you can enter in and then exit out, and you have access to set these recipes exactly once. Although I do notice you have access via these two paths as well. Then once you're in here, you also do this. This activates you. Okay, so this is the blob preventer. This is a yellow bean preventer. How in the world could I end up with a yellow bean at all? Oh, actually, yeah. How in the world could a yellow bean... Oh, this creates it. Sorry, this is not a yellow bean sensor. This creates yellow beans. So you go in here, all your yellow beans become yellow beans, and then something happens. So you enter here with some number of yellow beans. Okay, gotcha. And we have a bunch of cyan beans to begin with. Okay. I feel like with this many beans, this must be a material conservation puzzle, wherein you're not supposed to create infinite number of beans. You're only supposed to create... Oh, you should do as much as possible with these 7 beans and proceed. Alright, and then the recipe for a bomb is 1 yellow bean, and I'm pretty sure this is designed to not be changeable. Okay, I need to explode this guy. Ooh, how would I do that? A blob? A blob with 2 bombs would work, because I could use the first bomb to turn this blob into a bomb. And then... Well, actually, a blob with 1 bomb would work, because I could put that blob here. A bomb exploding here would turn you into a bomb which I can push towards the left. But we know that this is a blob preventer, which means that a blob might have to come from here instead. But Cloud would shoot the blob unless it were blocked. Or unless it were sliding across and ending up here, and then I shot it again to become... okay. So I could freeze a few blobs, slide them in here, and then bring 1 yellow bean across. Why is that not a thing I can immediately do? That would require 1 icicle, 2 blobs. Because the blob... Okay, if the blob breaks against ice, yes, it's a mechanic. It turns into an icicle. It does not break into the blob's recipe. It turns into an icicle. So you cannot slide a frozen blob across. Okay, gotcha. that would have been too easy, of course. How else could I get a blob across? Is it possible? I think it might be. I cannot reach this area. Yeah, because a blob can't come here as a blob, otherwise it gets shot, unless it's blocked. So it's entirely possible it's blocked. An exploding cloud doesn't do anything. A cloud has no recipe, so if you became a cloud and I shot you and I killed you with like a bomb or something, that also wouldn't make a difference. So it feels like maybe I want to pull a blob across here. Like I want a blob here and then I come over, step on some frozen ground, and then pull the blob across while it was blocked by something. It could be a frozen block. But I would say that seems unlikely because the way the icicle works kind of doesn't really. Okay, it could be blob here, icicle here to hit. Oh, but how you can't freeze anything there. Yeah, that doesn't make a difference either. You can't put right. No, that wouldn't work. Yeah, and frozen blob becomes icicle, so that will never work. And am I certain that the blob here is the only way to get this to be blown up? I think so, because we need a bomb here. Either moving or not, whatever. We need a bomb there. And yeah, the icicle isn't gonna help. The bomb has to be the one... Oh, sorry, the blob has to be the one that helps out. The icicle does nothing. Alright, okay. And I realize I can change the recipes from outside if I like... How would I do that? Actually, how would I change these recipes? A blob doesn't do anything. A frozen blob turns into an icicle. I can't move beans around very easily. I can't kill a blob at all because whatever happens to the blob causes that blob to turn into the monster instead. I can kill icicles, and I'm wondering maybe if I set a frozen bomb down this path, changing the recipe of an icicle, okay. That would allow me to kill an icicle for more yellow, but why would I want to do that? I can already... I could do that here. Changing the recipe of a blob. But again, why would I do that? Well, to make a blob, of course. But I might need to do that like twice. I realized that something interesting I can do actually, which isn't gonna help, but I can do it. Is I might potentially be able to put an icicle on some beans, which I don't think I've ever done before. Wow, that is not something I've ever seen before. An icicle on beans. Okay, that is completely useless though. I was thinking I need to change the recipe of a blob to be yellow. So I can just create, yeah. And I need to enter here with 3 yellow beans. 1 to create the blob, 1 to create the bomb. And with those 2 monsters I can get in here. Blob here, bomb explodes, you become a bomb, I push you left. I can freeze bombs and send them this way to change your recipe. But the problem is that requires a bridge here. For now, it appears that the only way to do that is a frozen blob. And once I enter here, I can't change the recipe manually. Which means that if there were a blue bean here... Also, if I were to use 2 bombs thrown in here to make a recipe of a blob be doubled, via 2 yellow beans. That will first require 2 yellow beans, then I'll need 3 more, so that's 5 beans in this area that are yellow. Which means it has to be 1... It seems like ideally then it's 1 yellow, 1 recipe for this guy. And then I create an icicle. But there's some obvious problem here, isn't there? It's just that I straight up cannot freeze any bombs from here. I guess if I put an icicle in one of these spots, that might... that's not possible either. Yeah. These spots have to be hit by like... Yeah, these spots cannot be hit by icicles. And I want to enter here with 5 beans. I can't push bombs. yeah, I can't push bombs across. I need something frozen in here first. But like, am I not losing a ton of beans this way? Is 5 beans in here even like okay? Like, an icicle can actually freeze this spot, but that's pointless. I'm potentially thinking about icicle freezing this spot, but that feels bad because then the icicle will also be here. It'll be shooting there, which I can't walk past. Icicle here, frozen object here, or like the other way around. Icicle here, frozen object here. Frozen object. What could it even be? Okay, hold on. I could actually stand here and shoot outwards, which allows me to make the recipes, then change them. Okay. That seems great. But do I not still lose beans this way? Like, if I want to do that, I can put the icicle here. And I can use 1 bean for each recipe because I can go in and change the recipes manually. I can start by having 1 bean for the icicle, then change it to 1 bean for the blob. I really want the icicle to be a different spot. But do I? I thought I want the freezing here. That might not be necessary. The freezing can occur here as well. Okay. Actually, I don't actually need the icicle to be the block to be instantly frozen either. I could move it around. I can now reset the recipes. I don't need to set the recipes. I already have the icicle. Okay, perfect. This should work. So I get the extra bean here that I was going to leave for the icicle, but since it already exists, I don't need to use it anymore. I can take the bean with me. So with 5 yellow beans now, I can do whatever I said I would. Wait, no, hold on. This is wrong. I need the line to actually touch this guy. Right, okay. So actually, we have another problem. That is... I need this line to be free. And neither this nor this is good. This is definitely not good. But I can only use these 2 columns once I enter through the top. Like, I'm thinking like something very sneaky that could happen is somehow I shoot through here, but that doesn't look possible. Yeah. Like, alternatively, I could create the blob, then set the recipe for the icicle, and then leave it there. But the problem with that is that I lose a bean. Right? So now I have 4 beans, and like, this is just not a thing I can do. Yeah, so I don't have the... Actually, no, hold on. At this point, can I not make a blob already? No, because coinciding recipes, right? So I have to have 2 yellow beans here. And now I don't know what to do, because I can't create both of these monsters. I only have 2 beans. So like, Now it's kind of like more like a structural issue that I'm having. I can't put the icicle anywhere good. This would be great for an icicle position, honestly. But it definitely blocks the way, and like any of these spots are just bad. Yeah, that's just bad. I can't do anything about this. This line. And I don't think there's any way to help me out here, right? Using something else. Like, I could potentially get past by using this blob, but there's nowhere to put it after I'm done. Like I can't put it anywhere good. It just becomes another icicle. It doesn't close off any. I need to help bridge the gap. Now I can't cross this line. And once I have a bean in here, I can't do anything about it. Like, there's no method of retrieving a bean, actually, I think. You can only add beans to the piles here. You can't take any. Which means any beans I leave here stay here forever, I think. Just why I don't like this at all. There's no other... There's no other good places to get this spot, though. It doesn't have to be this spot. I guess it doesn't have to be this spot. Yeah, it doesn't have to. But see, any icicle in this row necessarily blocks me in one line or another. So like, even if the blob is here, that will block me with its shot this way. And I'm wondering if there's any way to like try and avoid that. I guess an interesting thing is like, perhaps I could freeze a blob. Yeah, because look at this. This line is free actually. So if I left a bean here and I put the icicle here, I could start by making the icicle, then make the blob here, and I do have options, but none of them are good. Actually, what in the world? Oh. I can't get any blob here. Okay, how about the icicle one further? That should also be okay. But then again, like, the blob is not in a very good spot at all. The blob is not... Oh, also I get blocked. I didn't see this line here. I did not... What did I not do? I don't see any way I can... So where is a good spot for this blob to be? I don't know where a good spot for it would be. Because yeah, there's actually like, there's no way I can actually do anything good here with the blob to freeze it. I want to freeze it up here, but there's no way I can get the icicle to do that. I realize the icicle can be anywhere because... No, that is not true. I need to push the frozen bomb. So the icicle must be in a spot where I can touch it. So like, actually, the icicle must be here, right? It's either here or here. And both look really bad. This looks a bit more salvageable. But yeah, because the bomb coming through will definitely need to be pushed one more time. Like, at best... I can't even freeze. I can't even make an icicle here. Is this the way to go? I'm so suspicious if this is the way to go or not. There's just no... Yeah, there's no way I can do this, I think. I need to find another method. Or do I? I'm really hoping I don't have to. Because the distribution of beans right now is perfect. It's so good. I wish nothing changed about this. But I have to fix something here. Can't freeze a blob there. Because I can't get into the water then. I need this spot particularly to be frozen. And like, that means the blob must do something. And I have to set the icicle first, right? I don't know. Where can the icicle be that's good? No idea. Need to walk through with bomb with 5 yellow beans. Two bombs here would make your recipe different, but so would one blue and one yellow. Yeah, one blue and one yellow. The problem is, then there is no way I can make the blob here. I must make the blob here and bring it over. And I don't know how to do that. Without getting shot by the cloud. Yeah. Mm. I just gonna turn into an icicle. I don't like that. Icicle, where can you even be? Do I make you the start? Do I leave the recipe here? That doesn't look good at all. And this is not possible with 4. This can't be possible with 4 beans. Can I blow up I want to know what happens if I blew up a frozen blob actually. Yeah, but I never tried that. I could try it. So hold on. Okay, let's put 2 beans down. I'll form 2 blobs. And I'll do that. Okay. So you come over here, you freeze, you do that. I guess I can just freeze you already. I kind of want to freeze you like somewhere nicer, like here. Let's make the icicle like. Okay, let's move you guys out of the way. Let's put the icicle here. Sure. Okay. Let's just test real quick. You become an icicle. That's not great. I mean, yeah, I guess the blob was primed to become an icicle the moment it got frozen, so like that didn't change by the explosion. I guess you could say like that. Anyway, yeah, we still don't know how to get to the end here. I wonder if there's just something very simple I'm missing. Or like, if I need to change my solution entirely. Because the way it looks like right now, I definitely can't put a blob in any of these locations. There's no way I can block this. A frozen blob will not help me here because, yeah, just won't. Also, I can't put a frozen... Well, I can freeze a blob there, but like, I lose a bean either way, don't I? Yeah, I do. I think maybe not. In what world do I not lose a bean anyway? No, this doesn't look right. Yeah. This face looks so good, but like it looks so bad at the same time. I don't want to leave a bean here. Do I? If I hold on, if I can't put a frozen block here if the icicle is in the same row. Yes, because that would require either a vertical push or it would need, the block would need to be frozen in the same row, which cannot occur. Frozen. This looks so good. This looks so good. Like, could I do some interesting stuff if I did really do it this way? I feel like the answer is not really. This looks very good though. This looks like it barely works, which I like. But I don't have the ability to do this now. I can change your recipe, but that's not gonna help. The recipe of the icicle won't do anything, right? Will an icicle plus a bomb help me? I don't think it will. Because like no, I mean, I could try to blow up the I could try and blow up the I could try and blow up the icicle now, but I don't think that's even possible at this state. So now I have an icicle plus a bomb. That's not gonna help. That's definitely not gonna help. What's the point of having that there? It's not gonna do anything. Arg. This is unhelpful. If I was a blob, I would be so happy, but no, it's not. It's not a blob. I can't change it, can I? No. I'm so not ready to give this idea up yet, but I feel like I have to eventually. Just, it's so perfect that I don't want to say it's the wrong solution, but it really might be not what I want to do. I don't see how else I could do this properly though. Because like, here the most efficient way has to be one blob and one bean, right? One blob and one bomb, right? Like, in fact, I think that's the only combination that works. one block, one block, one bomb. Icicles do not help. So it has to be one blob and one bomb. Is there another way to get a blob in here? I don't think so. Because if that were the case, that there must be some like really complicated way to do stuff. I would need to have a frozen object here to block the cloud. Now I need to bring a blob through, which also seems difficult. And then the recipe for the blob has to be different. And like, how would I even freeze this location properly? Like, the only good icicle spot that does that is here, which is like a really horrible icicle spot. So I can't freeze anything here. Although, like, potentially that looks pretty good. But then, like, how would I bring a blob through the bottom? And like, here is definitely not it either. There's no way to blow you up, I think. However, I suppose if I had enough space, I would need all of these to be walkable to blow you up. Because I need the bomb in this spot. Actually, no, that's not true. I need the bomb here, but the bomb needs to walk here to blow you up. So I think that's not possible either. This being water is just not good. Like, there's almost no way I could put an ice... there's almost no way I could put an ice block here. And I am very out of resources when I do, or if I do. What am I not remembering? I don't know. I keep forgetting to put the second block down. Like, yeah, what can I do here? A second block could be useful, but would it actually be useful? I don't think so. If only I could get through at this point. If only. I mean, if I did have a second blob, I could actually have a second blob here. But again, don't I lose beans this way? Also, isn't like the wrong thing frozen this way? What happens there? You just leave an icicle there, that's not good. Yeah, and like freezing something there is just not right either. I can put the blob... I can't put the blob here, like with the icicle spot here. Like with the icicle taking up this spot and this spot. A second block can only exist in this row. I have to leave both the icicle and the first block unobstructed. Hmm. Hmm. You know, like, this would be a really good place for an icicle as well. Except for the fact that, you know, I can't shoot there. I can't walk through the back of this, right? No, this is the back door, this doesn't work. That would be really good, actually, because it would get this spot with, like, almost zero blockage at all. Yeah, like, that would be awesome, actually. As, like, an alternate area for... But I can't, this just blocks it immediately. And I can't, like, immediately set a blob down to begin with. I have to go in here first. So I can't just... there's no icicle there. I mean... I'm wondering if I can blow up an icicle to, like... I wonder if I can blow up an icicle to, you know, help me out here, but it seems unlikely for a lot of reasons. Because from here I could push an icicle through and blow it up, I guess. I can't just blow up an icicle. I don't think this works. Because, I mean, for starters, there's no good bridge here. Actually, even if I blew you up, like, what good thing would happen? Like, realistically, I actually wanted you to be here. So you have that. But, like, I can't put anything here. Because you're blocking the way. I guess if you weren't blocking the way, that would be fine. Maybe you don't. Maybe you're not supposed to block the way. But if you were somewhere else, how could I destroy you with? I don't know, man. I don't know. I need another blob. Okay, hold on, before that then. Spawn on one here and one here. Here and there. Here. Okay, I'm gonna have you sit down here for a while. Isn't this a big problem? Oh yeah, for a lot of reasons it's a big problem. Oops. Yeah, I'm losing so much here. This is even worse than the previous attempt. Yeah, this is horrible. Okay, I am definitely messing around. I am not doing this right. Yeah, this feels very inefficient. So I don't think this is right. Even if I like this, that was less efficient if I just had left the bean here for the icicle to be made when I was out here. But the point is, there's just no way to get it back. So I need to like generate a bean from somewhere or something like that. I don't think that's possible. Or like I need to do this better. But I definitely have to like, because the recipe of the bomb is set to be 1 yellow bean. The recipe of the blob has to be set to 2 yellow beans, right? It has to be set to 2 yellow beans. And so like, even if I could make the bomb early, that wouldn't help me. I still need to spend 2 more yellow beans for the blob. There's no way to like do it with less beans, I think. I do note that a blob that exists... I mean, if a blob was changed into a bomb, right, it's equivalent to just changing it into a yellow bean and using it as a bomb instead. So there really isn't quite a difference between leaving a blob here and then... Yeah, and there's no difference between that and just walking in here with a bomb. It just changes where you have that bean, and I think having it here is better. If I left the blob here, used a bomb's explosion to turn it into a bomb, and then froze it and then brought it here, that's way less efficient. That just doesn't work. So, what do I do? Here's the trouble that I was expecting. It's always a solution that's super close but never works out, and I'm like stuck trying to make that solution work, and it never actually does work. It's either that, or I must find some way to drastically increase, or not drastically, to somewhat increase the number of beans I have. Which I feel like is not how this puzzle is designed. This puzzle cannot be designed to let you infinitely generate beans, right? Because if it was, the puzzle would definitely be way too easy. I can't set any weight down here. Is this tile? I think this is tile. Because the tile drops onto here. I can't get a blob into this area. And like, I'm pretty sure that's true because... Like... Yeah, I can't pull a blob from here and... I can't make anything right now. Why oh why does this not work? Is there something more efficient I can do? I kind of started blocking you off and then stand here and do something to get this block in here. You being in here is super good. I can't get the icicle. Can I get the icicle to appear in a different row? I think it's unlikely. I can't remove an icicle once. Yeah, so like... I don't think this... I really don't think this works. Like, either I block this path with an icicle. That causes me to only freeze. Actually, yeah, where... what? Hmm. I can't kill anything at this point, right? No. Although I guess I'm wondering, if I had an icicle here and I killed it with a very high recipe count, that would be interesting. So let's start with let's start with 2 blobs. So 1 icicle here, blob here and here. High recipe count for you. You go here. And then Frozen goes there. I need to bring with me 1 bean at least. Because I need that to become the bomb that I use. Hold on. Oops. And then if I blew you up, I actually somehow managed to get some beans through. The problem is that they're not yellow. Yeah. Question. If I then made the recipe for the blob 1 bean, how good is that explosion? How good can an explosion be? Oh wow, this process is always so long-winded. This gives me what? Actually, I don't know what this gives me. Because I have 2 beans now, I can make blobs, but I can't make bombs. I never could really because... yeah, I can never make... I think I need 2 yellow beans in here. Plus a blob? But like, isn't that too much? If I had 2 yellow beans in here, 1 explosion could get me a bunch of beans. The other explosion could be used up here. But then I still need the bomb for a blob. And I can't have coinciding recipes here. So I can't do this because I can't create a blob in this way. I'm gonna just save here. Right, yeah, this won't work. If I froze, I can't leave the... I can't leave the icicle with no beans. If it's 2 beans, it just feels like I only have one bomb left for the explosion. And then the blob. This still feels 1 bean short. But I think this feels somewhat optimizable. There must... well, I can't say there must, but there might be a way to fix this. See, because with this, right, I can make the blobs, but I can't turn them into bombs. I only need 1 blob, which is interesting that I get 2 red 2 blue beans out of this. I have the correct number of beans. I don't have the correct number of correct color. So if I could somehow, yeah, if I could somehow smuggle 1 bean through, which, you know, I wish I could, but this creates coinciding recipes and I can't even create a blob. So like, it's so close, but not quite there. 1 to kill you to get the bean. And then now what? Now I can't create the bomb anymore. The blob, because the coinciding recipes. Now I still do need both of these blobs to become icicles. Because I need an icicle here, which is only possible with a frozen blob sliding across something to end up here. This feels even closer. And like, this does feel... I don't know what this feels. So, is 2 explosions correct? Maybe. 2 explosions means 2 yellow beans. Yeah. This doesn't make any sense. Everything's right, but the coinciding recipe is the thing that kills me. Is it actually? I can't just do this because if there's no recipe for the icicle, then there's no point bringing an icicle over. Unless I could already somehow bring the icicle over before switching recipes. If that was somehow possible from here, I would be super impressed. If I could, for some weird reason, get the icicle to be here while I'm still in this area, that would be amazing, but is that possible? Also, why is this puzzle called Twins? Is that a hint? I don't think it is. Because then, like, what I could do after that is I could change the recipe. I guess... Well, that's not really true, because I still need to destroy this icicle with its recipe alive, and then the recipe of the blob. How many blobs do you think I could potentially try and make? I suppose I can only make 2 blobs, actually. Frozen icicle. Icicle here is not good. You know, I could change the recipe of the icicle, which would validate this recipe again. Oh, okay. So if I went back there and I actually confidently placed 2 beans there, these are invalid, of course, but they might become valid once I leave a yellow bean there. I think the cool thing about that is that the yellow bean there means that the icicle gives me back a yellow bean. This is a net 0. Oh my goodness, I think this works. Wow. I needed to revalidate the recipe by invalidating or changing the other one. That is so cool. Wow, okay. I love my solve path and do that one. Like, well, not really. I would say the last part of that solve went very well. I am so proud of solving that puzzle in the last like 20 minutes I was here. That felt so cool to do. And then that final realization of what I could actually pull off with what I had. That was just insanely satisfying. Wow, okay. That's it. That's twin solved. So that means the last puzzle, which we're going to do next episode, is this one called Commitment. Yeah, we'll do that next episode. For now, I will just sit here and be very happy with what I've done this episode. Until next time, hope you guys enjoyed the video. See you guys next time. Bye bye.